Stephen A. Smith, I don't want to see women fighting in the octagon. So I have his full statement here. I thought about applying some like a clown hat and like a big red nose or whatever, but I just ran out of time.
Yeah.
Um, let's
Still in your imagination.
yeah, I just maybe one of those little party things or the
Yeah. Yeah.
like that. Because that noise is about as valuable as what he said here.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna read the statement.
Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, so Stephen A. speaking here, not me.
For the
uh,
record.
First of all, I love it. I really wish I captured the context of what he was talking about at first. I forgot to grab that.
Yeah. They
If
weren't
anyone
even
could,
discussing this. He was talking about something
it was
completely
good.
else.
That's what I do. I do remember that reading the context that this was just he just was just offered this up
Yeah.
out of context, like not out of context. It had a context, but this was not what they were talking about.
No.
Okay, so let us know down the contacts, the comments down below, what the context of this was,
Mm.
what led into this discussion. But here, Stephen A. speaking. First of all, I love it. I think there's an awful lot of women who are incredibly qualified to do the jobs they're doing. Where I jump off the bandwagon. Oh, I remember it. There was sorry, I remember it. There was a new NFL head coach. A
Yeah.
woman was promoted to head coach in the NFL.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Okay, I'll continue. Where I jump off the bandwagon is where they try to engage physically. For example, I don't want to see a woman boxing a man. What? I don't want to see that. I don't want to see women in the UFC fighting a man, even though there are some women out there that will kick the dude's butt. When I think about pugilistic sports, I don't like to see women involved at all. I just don't like it. I wouldn't pass. I wouldn't promote legislating laws prohibiting them from doing so, but I don't want to see women punching each other in the face. I don't want to see women fighting in the octagon and stuff like that. That's just me. What I adamantly would be against is them fighting a man. I don't think that's cool. I'm not a proponent of that. Plus, you don't ever want to give men a license to believe that's all right to be physical with a woman. To be quite honest with you, you don't want to do that. Can I just I just had to blow off some steam there because who is saying this? Who is arguing for this? At what point did anyone he's not in opposition to anyone or anything in the world of sports. No one in that's a serious person in the world of sports has ever said, all right, we need to get a woman in there. We also need to get a man in there. Like, other than the super hyperbolic stuff being talked about, like, dude, was this like, did Stephen A step into a wormhole and like hear Joe Rogan talking about like Ronda Rousey 6 years ago and then came back through the wormhole and was just like, oh, dude, she can't fight Mayweather? No one is saying, why do you offer that this it's just such an idiotic thing to say. Like, I don't know what straw man he thinks he's fighting against, but uh yeah, Stephen A is gonna Stephen A, dude.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm just so flabbergasted at like not one. This is not a trending top. No one is saying
Dude,
like,
this is what I
well, one day we'll get far enough in the sport where we can have women fight men.
That's my favorite part. It's the statement itself is just like obviously some batshit Stephen A stuff. But my favorite part of all this is he's lobbed the softball question of, oh man, they got a new female coach in football. Isn't that great? And he immediately goes to, hey, I don't want to see a man fight a woman in a cage. It's like, what are you talking about? That has nothing to do with this at all. Who asked for that? No one proposed that. And
It's like
no
the
way.
embodiment. An embodiment of the no one meme. It's
Yeah.
like no one. Stephen A.
hmm
I don't want to see women fight men in the octagon. It's it's a ridiculous like so what people are real okay, people I think in a lot of MMA circles are just taking those ridiculous statements out and they're really focusing on that middle section where he goes in even further to say he doesn't want women fighting at all, even against non-men.
Yeah.
That is seems super dated, man. That's like a can't sign Gina Carano, Dana White type statement. You know what I mean?
It just shows how much of a casual he is because
Yeah.
that is the ultimate casual stance on this because that's the way that people looked at it years ago. And it's crazy because he is literally a staple of ESPN. He is fully surrounded by the sports world, but he was so deep into the other sports that like the rise of MMA was just oblivious to him that by the time that it got so large that it got to ESPN and he now has to be a part of it, he has no clue what's going on. I mean, you can go look at any of his takes when Connor's about to fight and he starts talking about Connor on his show. They're all just ridiculous. Like him and Skip Bayless talking about uh, Connor should go up and fight Israel Adesanya. It was one of their things they were talking about recently. They don't know anything. All right, all they know is here's some popular people
Oh
that
no.
that we've seen their highlights. Let's just whatever, fuck it. We'll just talk
Oh
about
no. It's like they're talking about pro wrestling.
yeah,
They want fucking Andre the Giant to fight
yeah,
Gold Dust, even though
yeah.
Gold Dust is 5'4" and weighs 120 pounds. Actually, I don't know. I don't know what he was billed at because I don't watch that shit. But uh, yeah, man, it. I read this. I read this sitting on my couch, and yeah, I had to contain myself. It's like it's like peak Stephen A. Who who was he talking to? Did he just come up with this on his own? Or was he talking to he was talking to like a crazy person? Or like or another casual who just like at the water cooler was like, "Hey man, you know what I heard? I heard they're gonna start having intergender championships." He just overheard Henry Cejudo standing on the street corner saying some shit. Um, yeah, well, uh, Jesus Christ, dude, we just don't need them. We just don't need them. We
No,
just
that's the thing is
have,
Stephen A does not need to be assigned to work any MMA, any UFC cards at all. There are people that work at ESPN that are knowledgeable about MMA. Let them handle it. I would rather see uh, Ariel or Brett or Mark, any multitude of other people stand in the place of Stephen A. Smith and try to discuss MMA on a Connor pay per view. So just
dude. I mean,
keep them away.
just give Kenny Florian someone else's notes and have him do it. All right.
What? Dude, Kenny Florian got the coldest shoulder, man. They fired him so hard. Rehire
Yeah,
Kenny Florian.
ESPN. Don't forget about plagiarism.
Dude, but
That's
it
what.
sucks because so many other people do forget about plagiarism.
Yeah,
What?
I
They
know.
don't even care.
Yeah, yeah.
Kyle Buff has a career.
Yeah. Hey, he still has battle bots, dude.
He got shot. Oh, that's right. Yeah. All right, continue.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's one of the things where I think about this often actually, where obviously we want the sport to be bigger because the more eyeballs, the more the fighters are paid. It's just the way it works. But also, the more people that watch, the more just idiotic takes there are in the world. Um, it it's accessible to more people, which is good, but more people have an opinion on it, which is annoying.
Oh yeah. Oh, I
So
yes. Watching after a Connor fight or something, watching the casuals in my feeds discussing it's just it's painful.
it's a I don't want to be because obviously I love the sport and I want more people to love the sport, but yeah, that's often the case with like a casual fan. Like they don't love the sport; they love a fighter.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? They love a fighter, and uh, and that's all fine and good. I mean, we all have our favorites, but
That's how boxing works. That's what they're getting
yeah,
from boxing. They're like, oh, I can tune in every time that Fury fights or something, right? I don't need to watch every single card of boxing that happens. But
yeah. I tried to do that with Big Baby, right? Wasn't that his name?
yep.
Yeah, he unfortunately he got caught riding
Oh,
dirty.
yeah. He was right,
Yeah,
real dirty.
yeah, he was riding real dirty.
Dirty baby.
Big man. He's a big man. With uh
Big dirty baby.
Big Dirty Baby. Yeah.